Hello, hello, and welcome back for another inspiring installment of Perfidious Pete Plays XCOM, The Long War. That's right, this shit is going to be more moving than the Gettysburg Address, and more poignant than Lou Gehrig's farewell speech. Why? Well, because odds are pretty strong that like a half dozen rookie celebrities are about to forfeit their lives in a relatively meaningless assault on some manner of downed UFO. Now, I'm not doing like post-commentary or anything, so don't think I can predict the future, I'm just playing the odds here. Like any smart bookmaker, I know the likely outcome of any particular event. So, that's probably going to suck for whoever we send on this mission, but on the plus side, if life has taught me anything, it's that nothing brings out more goodwill and positive sentiment than a celebrity death. Or, you know, at least the appearance of goodwill and positive sentiment. And I mean, really, isn't that what's truly important? Not actually caring, but just pretending to care is truly the most important part of any kind of tragedy, especially in Hollywood. Appearance is reality, folks. That's just the way it works. So let's get to work and see how many celebrity death hashtags we can get trending before the Sky Ranger gets back to base. I'm going to guess a lot. I mean, we had one trending when earlier Bieber threatened to die but didn't actually deliver. So compact plasma weapons, which turns out was completely extraneous because I actually did this research in the hopes of completing an alien carbine, which I actually started building before the research was even done because I'm not a smart man. So let's assign some new research. Now that we have all of these things we're never likely to build. Plasma pistol, yeah, maybe one eventually. Reflex pistols. That's just a foundry project for more damage. A plasma mauler, what the hell is that? Oh, it's a plasma sawed-off shotgun then, I guess. That actually has some reasonably interesting applications. We might make one or possibly even two of those. Interesting. So, oh. Alright, that's bad. Well, I've muddied my own pants, folks. And by that I don't mean shit myself, although I did do that as well. But, I'd hoped to do precision plasma weapons so that we could get a plasma sniper rifle built in the immediate future, but apparently I have neglected to look into our Lyrium supplies, and we have dipped to dangerously low levels. And by dangerously low, I mean we don't really even have enough to do any kind of research. So let's do some research that won't actually take any Lyrium, and hope that maybe we can down a UFO and get our hands on some.
We're still not sure if it has an organic component within.
So you're saying there's like a little goblin inside it, driving it like the monster that stood outside the gates of Goblin City in Labyrinth? I really hope so, because that movie was badass, and I really, really want to see what tiny little alien is inside a sectopod. That would be fucking sweet. Also, if we can get Sir Didymus to run between its legs, I mean, that's going to be hugely helpful in bringing it down. Sir Didymus is fucking hard. Alright, well, back to scanning then. We've got our next set of research launched. The ever important Labyrinth research. I know, for one, David Bowie's involvement is going to be critical to the XCOM project. A small UFO somewhere over Africa. Every feeling that we can probably down this. You know what? Let's send out Flounder Mallory here and see if once again old Flounder lives up to his name. And that's not a like Little Mermaid reference to the flounder named Flounder, the Little Mermaid, creatively named, by the way.
We're in pursuit.
More to the verb flounder, and that it means to sort of flail helplessly.
Closing on target.
Because that's what this guy did last time he encountered a UFO. His performance, not exactly stellar. Much improved this time, however. Well done, Flounder. We may not have to batter and then bake you at 350 degrees for like 22 minutes until you're a crispy golden brown. Might let you live, sir. So, a downed UFO over Africa. Let's get a Sky Ranger up. And so far, my earlier prediction looking like it's going to pan out. Now, this is a small UFO, so of course, no expertise is going to be dedicated to this particular mission. We're going to send a Scrod. A Scrod? We're going to send a Scrod. Apparently a fish on the brain, what with all the Flounder jokes there. Looking for some Scrod as well. We're going to send a squad, this is what I was trying to say, of some troopers. Looks like a couple are still tired from our last mission, but that's okay. Tempted to send Rihanna. Probably going to send Rihanna. Actually, definitely going to send Rihanna. Even though I don't necessarily like sending max rank troopers, I really feel that just the one sniper elite is pretty useful in these situations. So we're going to adjust Rihanna's loadout. Little bitch Banshee armor for Rihanna, because of course that chick knows how to wail. And a Gauss long rifle for Rihanna, as well as a scope and some high capacity mags. It's going to get her kit sorted. What other assorted trash do we want to sweep onto this mission? Sean Penn is not maximum rank yet? I really find that hard to believe. He's got to be maximum rank. Is he not? He is. Okay, I was going to say, I can't believe that Sean Penn would not be maximum rank. Also, it's great to see Sean back from the hospital. Actually, I'm quite stoked about that. He's been in for a goodly while, suffered a critical wound on what I think was an Exalt mission. And unfortunately for Sean, of course, he's not getting an opportunity for any kind of payback against the Exalt troopers that did him dirty, because we already took care of that shit, so... Don't really want to double up on the officer category. We could send Jean-Claude Van Damme, but I would feel we could send... Well, it's either Jean-Claude or Dane Cook. Man, that's a difficult choice. I mean, Jesus, they both are terrible. Dane Cook is only a specialist, so it seems like he's not really well-suited for holding down the fort. Huge Axeman apparently must be still in hospital. Wolverine's touted healing factor apparently not really a factor in this one. Lazy jerk. So I guess we are going to send old JCVD here. Aegis armor, a Slim Shady Memorial Slugslinger, of course, will be accompanying Jean-Claude into battle. He's going to go with a scope and a laser sight to complete his kit. What else have we got here? Going to definitely need a gunner, and this is probably... We're going to probably tag team up our gunners, although Lady Gaga not yet maximum rank. I really still feel we should probably save the Gogster for something a little more important. So we'll probably double up on this shit then. Let's go with a little bit of Nikki Crater Minaj. She can drop that ass on the enemy, which will not only titillate, but destroy them as well. So, Nikki, a double threat. A little bit of scope, a little bit of alloy bipod. Nikki, of course, not our mobility gunner, so we're going to have her staying stationary. And then I think we'll take Taylor Moose Lautner with our mobility build, simply for lack of anyone more useful to send. Also how Taylor Lautner has been cast in most of his roles, by the way. Just they couldn't find anyone more useful or more talented. And Taylor Lautner was available and has kind of a hunky aura about him. He's sort of like the proto Matthew McConaughey in that he's just a good-looking guy who sort of keeps getting cast and gets movie roles, despite the fact that he's not particularly talented. I mean, that wasn't true in McConaughey's case, because Matthew McConaughey's fucking awesome, but kind of a man crush on McConaughey. I'm not ashamed to admit it. But that was sort of the rap, or the kind of the thing that everybody thought about Matthew McConaughey until he came out, you know, like Magic Mike, a little bit of a True Detective, and showed those motherfucking haters what Matthew McConaughey is all about. Speaking of which, why the hell is Matthew McConaughey not on our team? That seems like a criminal oversight. Do we send Tara Reid? No. Let's send Kanye West, though. Kanye's still only a tech sergeant, and man, his willpower is getting just ever steadily worse. A little bit of Titan armor. Perhaps we can prevent Kanye from suffering any further head trauma. Although if you've ever heard any of his music, the head trauma is really the only fucking explanation for that shit. Sounds like he's choking on his own tongue most of the time. Chemical grenade and an arc thrower are going to complete Kanye's kit. Just give him an opportunity to go for a capture. We're going to go a little similar with our assault trooper. Last time we tried this, it actually panned out pretty well. We managed to pull 2 captures on the same mission, quite impressively. Miley Yeah Cyrus looking a little tired. I'm tempted to send old Dr. Worm out there. But you know, Charlie Sheen is too slow. I was going to say we could send Charlie Sheen. You know what? Fuck it. Let's send Charlie Sheen. Why not? He's made of wind. The guy is 100% wind. Man, Charlie Sheen is not good. And that's actually an assessment of his XCOM abilities, not necessarily his acting abilities, although I think probably it holds true for his acting as well. I'm just saying. He's not exactly tearing the world up with his winning smile. Whatever. He doesn't even have a good foot speed. Jeez, Charlie Sheen, how did you get on our team? Did we trade for you for a leftover sandwich, or what was that all about? We don't have a medic here. Wouldn't mind having a medic. Also wouldn't mind having the engineer necessarily either. If we have a quality engineer to send, we'll go with the engineer. Yeah, we do. We actually... Let's go with the tool pusher then. We're going to grab Jesse James. We would like to see Jesse eventually make maximum rank. So we're going to give him our Gauss carbine to help with his low foot speed. And that's got Jesse sorted. He's ready to roll. That just leaves us needing a mech trooper. Who is available? No way we're sending Drake or Timberlake. Those two are definitely our top guns. The kind that would make Maverick and Iceman drool in awe. So who does that leave us? I think probably Bono. Oh boy, this is going to be a great mission, folks. You know, when Bono's holding down the robo-mechanized portion of your alien craft assault, that things are going to go just remarkably swimmingly for you. So it's going to be weapon gyros, Illyrium turbos. We do want old Bono. He does have a nice foot speed, so if nothing else, we can dash him in and have him set the world ablaze. Much like his most recent offering in the musical department, set the world ablaze, and that wound up on your iTunes without you necessarily wanting it to be there. So Bono, at least experienced with setting the world afire. Of course, in his case, it's a fire with rage. Not necessarily adulation, awe, or
Dropship has arrived.
any other sort of positive emotion. Let's get stuck in then, get this debacle over with.
Listen up.
Populated
We're
urban
dropping
area,
a
right,
tape in the
Bradford?
Nigerian interior for the next operation.
Oh, wow.
The alien craft went down hard and stopped just inside the city limits.
Oh, clearly,
Hopefully there
just
weren't any
inside the city
civilians
limits.
in the area at the time.
Of course there were no civilians in the area at the time, Bradford, you drunken bastards, because it didn't land anywhere near a fucking city. The only thing this thing might have killed is some fucking prairie dogs, gophers, or meerkats. Actually, I don't know if they have prairie dogs or gophers in Africa. Probably don't. Meerkats, I think, would still work. Speaking of which, the devastating loss to the meerkat family as the Meerkat Manor television show cast was entirely wiped out in the crash.
Approaching the crash site now.
Condolences and donations may be sent to Meerkat Manor,
Big
care of
Sky.
Sean Austin.
Strike 1 is free to engage hostile targets at the crash site.
Well, then let's get to work engaging said targets. And I'm pretty sure I don't have a battle scanner. Yeah, because I'm all about putting together winning teams for missions. That's sort of my thing, folks. Nobody puts together a crack team of ace infiltrating units better than I do. So this one may take us a little bit longer than normal. Yeah, no, actually maybe not, since the aliens cooperating nicely by making themselves readily available to be killed. Let's see what we can do here. And I gotta think that Bono might have a chance to set a number of them alight. Yeah, he might even be able to get 3. Yeah.
On my way.
Who dares wins, right? Fortune favors the bold. Other such euphemisms and comments that don't necessarily hold true in the real world, but make pithy license plate, slogan, and poster sayings. Let's fire it up and see. Bono, you want to burn some bitches? Alright, so there we go. 3 panic floaters all in a duck wad here. It'd be lovely if you came over here. No? Alright, well, I was hoping that maybe you'd panic over here with your 2 buddies who were nice in a little easily grenaded configuration. But that's definitely not going to happen, because in order to grenade those guys, we would absolutely also have to grenade Bono, and we would prefer to avoid that if at all possible. We're just going to have old Moose Lautner here take a shot at this flanked floater who is not panicked. Lautner, for once, actually contributing something to the mission. I'd be more worried about this, but actually I have pretty much every confidence that Kanye here is either going to hit or set up a hit for someone else, so we'll just take the shot. There you go, Kanye delivering the kill. That leaves the crater with nothing to shoot at. We're going to take a fairly aggressive move with Nicki Minaj then, since we know where all the enemies are and they're all panicked. We don't really have anything to fear. You know what? We should definitely go for captures here. Yeah, we should absolutely do that. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to have Charlie Sheen running gun.
Going in for the kill.
Charlie's going in for the kill. Charlie always going in for the kill, of course. A cutthroat mentality. It's what got him where he is in Hollywood. And certainly not the fact that he has a famous father. It's all about his cutthroat, absolute, no-nonsense winning attitude. That's what's gotten Charlie where he is today, folks. Nothing to do with the fact that his dad was really, really famous. Or that he was a member of the Brat Pack. Actually, the Brat Pack thing probably really didn't do him any favors. Let's have the tool pusher go hollow target for Nicki Minaj. We do still need to kill that unit. We're going to go for captures on that guy, but setting up a kill here wouldn't necessarily be the worst idea of all time. Rihanna has another shot, I guess? Well, let's not take that. We're going to have Rihanna actually... A disabling shot? You know what? Let's do the disabling shot. It does 1 damage. That'll just make this guy a little easier to capture should it happen to hit. Yeah, no damage, but that guy's panicked and now has no weapon as well. So the only thing he can do when he does finally come out of his panic is going to be reload. Not necessarily a problem for us. Assuming the game didn't lock up, which, okay, it didn't. I was a little bit concerned there for a moment. Sometimes when you deal with the flamethrowers and the panicking units, it really causes some problems for the AI. It doesn't necessarily know how to interpret their actions, and you wind up with a lot of situations where the game just refuses to continue. So we're going to have old Charlie winning Sheen drop in behind this floater and see if he can pull a capture for us. 58%, we're going to take it. Sheen, are you winning? Winning. 100% victory is Charlie Sheen. Yeah, he's not so tough, Charlie. You stunned the shit out of him. And also, well done. Not inclined to praise you because I have been in the past forced to watch 2.5 Men on at least one occasion, and I gotta say, it scarred me emotionally for fucking ever. Didn't necessarily need the critical there, Jean-Claude, you fucking overachiever. Jean-Claude going Captain Tryhard there, trying to impress us. Not really a good thing there. So let's advance on the alien ship, and I gotta say, that was not expected. What have we got? A Thin Man Navigator, a Sectoid, some manner of Seeker. Alright, well, Nicki Minaj has a shot, so we'll go ahead and take it. And there's a kill for Nikki. Jesse James not in the finest position of all time. Gonna put Jesse on Overwatch. Gonna bring Rihanna up to this rock. And the problem with that Thin Man... Oh, we have a shot? Please tell me we have a shot at the Thin Man. We don't. We're going to take this shot at the Sectoid, however. If the enemy can see us, he can shoot at us. And we would prefer that no enemy have vision on any of our troopers and force them to move forward. Especially since Charlie Sheen is not necessarily in the world's greatest position, re that Thin Man. So we're actually going to have Bono go into full cover mode. It's going to be one for all for the Boninator, and then he's going to Overwatch. Moose, what to do about Moose. How to solve a problem like Taylor Lautner. Not quite as easy a problem to solve as a problem like Maria, because Taylor Lautner is not a delightful nun inclined to teach children to sing. It's been a good long while since the enemy has tried an acid spit on us. I have to say I am surprised. Now, Moose, actually, that guy's in Titan armor. He may be immune to the acid. We're going to take a 69% chance for Rihanna. She delivers 7 damage for us. Acceptable. Rihanna's going to double tap with her second shot. We might need a little luck for this one. And Rihanna, not exactly the luckiest of ladies in either love or, apparently, marksmanship. Of course, I think it's no surprise that Rihanna not necessarily the luckiest at love. Slew of bad boyfriends to her credit. We are going to take a little bit of shot here with the Moose. He's got hollow target. Also going to deliver a hit. Surprising output, actually, from the Moose. This is a little bit risky, but I'm going to do it anyway. This is one we can test to see whether or not the Titan armor does in fact make us immune to acid. I seem to recall Dr. Shen droning on about something about acid and fire and whatnot. And 2, just because I definitely need meld, so getting this meld canister wouldn't be a bad thing. Although if Kanye has an attempt to panic, with his 21 willpower, it's basically assured that Kanye will in fact panic. Well, we didn't necessarily want you to make him go further away, Kanye. Just throwing that out there. Gonna double move then with Nicki Minaj. Bono with his amazing foot speed is gonna make himself a tempting target for Mr. Alien. If he can get a shot, more's the better, but he cannot. Oh, he does have a shot. Just a very, very bad one. We may revisit him in a moment. JCVD has nothing to offer at all. And the tool pusher not necessarily in the greatest of positions either. We're going to move... Oh, I just ran him through acid. Yeah. Of course you're not feeling so good, because you're an idiot and ran through fucking acid, Jesse James. Jesus Christ. I mean, that's straight up on you, dog. You did that to yourself. You can't blame that on anyone. Then again, most of Jesse's ills in the world actually self-inflicted. Didn't have to bone Cat Van D. I mean, I'm assuming no one had a gun to his head. He does live the wacky Hollywood cyberite lifestyle. I mean, it's not entirely out of the question that maybe somebody had a gun to his head. Love the fact that we had Charlie Sheen take cover behind a tree that then immediately exploded. That was fantastic right there. Bono, fortunately, capable of taking a hit. I gotta assume this guy's gonna be killed. Man, Charlie Sheen is not fucking around. Gotta say, I'm pretty impressed by what Chuck's brought to the table so far. One stun attempt, which worked, and then a nice Overwatch kill. Gana's out of ammo, so she's gonna reload, and then we'll have her take a shot, because why the hell not? And the reason for that is that shot missed. Channeling a little Dr. Seuss there. My second rhyme was, I gotta admit, a little bit weak, but this is definitely going to be a kill for old Bono here. And kaboom. Now, I know you're saying, why did you have that guy standing so close to him? You're standing him in an acid cloud. Nice thing about that is, acid not really affecting our mech troopers so much whatsoever. Don't really have to worry about it. Tool pusher? You're going to hunker down since you decided to bathe yourself in acid. Apparently, Jesse really wanted to acid etch his new gas tank that he bought for his hog. Didn't realize that carrying it through the acid cloud, not necessarily the greatest way to achieve that outcome. We're just going to advance on the ship then. Where's Kanye? Kanye, why don't you step up here just to see if there's anything you can see. Kanye, of course, covered in acid, but has the temerity to not care. At this point, with Kanye's 21 will, I'm sort of questioning his sanity. It may be simply the fact that Kanye finally is as stupid as he should actually be. I mean, his in-game stats have finally come down to his real-life stats. Biz spends most of his time talking to Kim Kardashian in the barracks, telling her how he's going to fuck her on a sink. Which I gotta say, I'm throwing this out there. Ladies, is that not, like, the most unromantic thing you've ever heard? If your fella came up to you and said, hey, baby, I'm going to take you in and fuck you on a sink. It's just, it seems like a horrible thing to say to a person.
On my way.
And it doesn't seem romantic in any way, shape, or form.
On Overwatch.
I mean, it's just cold, brutal porcelain sitting there. Metal fixtures. It's hard and uninviting. Seems really uncomfortable and unpleasant.
Heading there now.
Just throwing that out there, Kanye. Maybe vowing to bone a chick on a sink is not necessarily the best way to woo your intended.
Come get some.
Then again, between the two of us, one is single and the other one's boning Kim Kardashian, so, man, fuck, maybe you're onto something, I don't know.
10-4.
Maybe Kanye's found some kind of secret. Six old tricks that work to woo the ladies. This one weird old trick guaranteed to win your love's affection. Lotharios hate him, Kanye West. Now, I know there's a meld canister over there, but Bono actually can't score it, so our best bet for scoring that meld canister is simply going to be to kill everything and try and claim it that way. So we're going to actually have Bono move and see if we can pull those outsiders into some Overwatch fire by chance. Odds of that not fantastic, but also not zero. We have a number of troopers on Overwatch. The one outsider went on, both of them went on Overwatch. Alright then. Alright, aliens, I see how it's gonna be. No, that's fine. That's fine. You want to play it that way? We can play it that way. Alright then. So, old Chuck Sheen with one terrible shot. We're not even gonna bother with that. Looks like we're gonna have to pull the Overwatch. Now, Nikki Crater Minaj actually has one very bad shot. Alright, so let's have Kanye pull this Overwatch. Kanye, go do your job. So here we go. There's one miss, and let's see if we can finish things off with this second miss. Here comes Kanye. Alright.
Incoming fire.
So Kanye manages to escape unscathed. And that's going to let Bono... Well, Bono could really do some nasty shit here, actually. Before we move Bono, let's see what else we can get out of our troopers. Alright, so we can almost guaranteed kill that guy. We're going to have enough firepower on him that should not be much of a problem. Let's start things off with old Nicki Minaj here. We're going to have her take a shot at Crouching Tiger, Hidden Outsider there. That came up short.
If you don't hit him.
Well observed. Wouldn't mind getting Jean-Claude in a little bit better position, but doesn't appear to be fated to be so. 48 and 48. Alright, well, we're going to take shots at this guy then. Jean-Claude delivers, which means that Charlie Sheen may have a chance for a kill here. Rihanna only has one shot, so we're just going to take Rihanna's one shot, since, like I said, just a one shot. Not surprising that the one shot missed. Oh, sorry, Rihanna has two shots, and then we're going to be even less surprised when this one also misses. Thanks, Rihanna. At least you're dependable, Rihanna. The one thing we can say about you, I mean, damn, girl, you're not good, but fuck, you are consistent. We got to give you that.
Roger that.
Moose Lautner's going to take himself a shot here. Moose has been surprisingly on this mission. And once again, Moose with just unexpected positive outcomes. I really don't know how to feel about his performance. Gotta admit, little concerned. Why not? I was going to set it on fire, but well, I was worried about damaging the items in the background, namely that flight computer. I was a little concerned that if we set it on fire, we might destroy that, and turns out I should have been a little less worried about that and a little more worried about the kill, but I gotta say, I wasn't honestly expecting Bono to miss an 81% chance to hit just straight up out of the blue like that. Charlie Sheen gonna run and gun. Now, it wouldn't have mattered, we wouldn't have been able to finish him off anyway, because Charlie Sheen is continuing to be pathetic. Jesse James earning a lot of EXP this mission, spending most of his time hunkered down behind a log after deliberately running himself through acid. Jesse James likes to call that process litigation. Litigation, yes. Alright, so Rihanna still has... Man, Rihanna, you got some bad shots here. Rihanna's just spraying bullets into the woods at this point, really. Now, keep up the good work, Riri. Alright, well, we can't afford to dick around with this guy too much terribly longer, so we're just gonna have Bono go set him on fire. This will panic him. It'll also do a bunch of damage, which is good, so, why don't you go ahead and set that gentleman ablaze. Thank you. Nicely done. And that's gonna panic him, push him right out into our guns, which was the hoped-for outcome, not necessarily the anticipated outcome, but is what we were hoping for. And that's gonna let Nicki Minaj close things out with the kill. Nikki delivering the deadly salvo, ending the mission, dropping a crater on him or leaving a crater in his wake. I just gotta say, when it comes to Nicki Minaj, you can't argue with that ass. So, despite my earlier prediction of celebrity deaths and trending hashtags, no such luck. So if you see any of those hashtags trending on Twitter, be aware. The reports of those deaths have been greatly exaggerated, folks. Greatly exaggerated. Little Tony Scott aircraft porn, everybody loves that. Not a single promotion on that mission.
So much as a scratch.
Wow, I'm actually... It seems like it's been a lot of missions since Bono has had a promotion. It seems like he should have been due one. Alright. We did pull one capture, but all it netted us was an alien carbine. That sucks. I was hoping the heavy floaters would have a rifle. We do need more of those. We picked up 6 Illyrium. That's fucking sweet haul there. That's some serious swag. 7 meld, which actually is useful. Yeah, we need a little more Illyrium, folks. So up to the Situation Room, we're going to head to the gray market and get rid of these damaged UFO components. Not that we have a whole lot of things to spend this available cash on, assuming I can also find those components. There we go. Get rid of those. And, well, actually, we were completely out of money. I believe I spent the last of it on a satellite, but, eh. One thing I do want to check on before we wrap things up here, just want to take a look at our build times. Effectively, these 2 items are what we're waiting on. It's 13 days until we can assault the alien base, 20 days until our hyperwave relay is complete, which is unfortunately a lengthy amount of time, but just going to have to deal with it. And then, of course, we have this extraneous laboratory, which at this point isn't really going to serve a whole lot of purpose, but we're building it anyway, because you got to spend your money on something, I suppose. Some scientists need jobs. And let it be said that XCOM is nothing if not pro-economy. Making work for those who don't necessarily deserve it. Right, Dr. Valen? Ah. Yeah, we've got her 86 scientists, and shit, Dr. Shen has 1 billion engineers, and none of them do shit, so... At least we're stimulating the economy, folks. We can take solace in that. And with our government-funded stimulus package fully launched, I think we'll go ahead and wrap things up. Of course, if you enjoyed the episode, feel free to drop a like down in the comments section. Of course, your support does really mean a lot to us. And if you'd like to see more daily XCOM, consider subscribing as well. We'll see you again soon.